Gianni, are you sure?
What's up, guys? My name is John. I'm here with another episode, and I'm really excited to have James, Jack, and Toby here. We're going to talk football today. They all have something in common. They all play for Southern, which is a local team in Hong Kong, and they're top of the Hong Kong Premier League. Unfortunately, there's a break in the season at the moment, so we got the time to do this, and yeah, I'm really glad you guys are here. So we'll kick it off by just kind of saying that, so usually like you guys have like breaks throughout the season during lockdown in Hong Kong. How does it feel like not be able to touch a ball at this moment in time?
I'll let Jack, our captain, begin.
It's just a bit boring. Like,
So-
it's because normally when you go to training, you know you're going to be playing games and stuff, and it's like what you want to do and it's fun. So when that's not there, you're like, oh, okay. But then we're still motivated to train. So I don't know. I find it. Yeah, I mean it's like it's boring, but it's not like you still go to training. It's still fun because you still see the guys and stuff, so you can still banter when you're there and all that kind of stuff. But it's just not as fun as it could be.
How important is it to like have a good endurance base? You know, I'm assuming you guys are told to do running outside of the pitch, right?
Yeah, I mean at the moment we've still been trying to meet up together and like do as much as a team as we can. So we be doing like running sessions and all that kind of stuff. So they know that we'll look after ourselves, but they encourage us to like do little bits here and there whenever we can.
Yeah, I always thought like playing football is like the most important thing is like match fitness, right? So like the more games you play, the fitter you're gonna be.
Yeah. So
it must be super hard for like professional players like you guys to like always stop and then kickstart again. I swear there should be like a spike in injuries, but I mean.
Well, I think that's what they get worried about, and that's why you can't stop and you have to keep trying to go as much as you can. But you just have to roll with it. I mean, you were saying earlier that one of the guys on our team's been out for 8 months, but still one of the fittest in the running stuff today.
Oh really? Okay.
But I think he's just naturally fitter, right? So
Yeah, but naturally fitter, like everything comes down to natural. Like if you're naturally gifted in like physical abilities, like coat and shoe, you could be out for months.
yeah.
But there are people in the team who are like naturally not that gifted, but very hardworking. If they lose this hard work, this routine, to them it means a lot more. This whole stop and start thing. Whereas to people like Jack, because they're so gifted, they can stop for whenever they want. They can just start anytime. So he doesn't care. I care because I need to fucking work on it. You know, like without working on it, I just lose my stamina, especially endurance, like gameplay, even the feeling on the pitch is such a big thing. Like just like the normal passing, the intuition of what to do next, predicting what would happen. This whole set would be gone. I would say 3 weeks, no training, it will be all gone. You need to start again.
Yeah, I think it's the same with like gym. Like if you don't gym for like 3 weeks, you lose it quite quickly.
Yeah.
In the same sense, like that's kind of the beauty of it. Or there's like a double-edged sword in the sense that like you got to keep it up or you got to top it up somehow. But it's hard. So
Toby's quite fit.
Yeah.
It's also not the same. Like I can still do the good times and stuff, even though I've been out for a while. I'm not at my fittest for sure. But losing the repetition of the games, like we can be as fit as we want, but if you're not playing the matches, those first few matches back are still going to be difficult.
Games are just different, completely different. And it's not just games are different. It's like different games require different stamina. Like we could be playing against Kitchi, and the stamina required for a Kitchi game would be so different to the stamina required against, let's say, football club. The type of stamina, I'm not saying which one you run more, run less. It's just a complete different set of endurance. For example, with football club, let's say, we would have a lot more burst of energy. Instead of against Kitchi, we would have a lot more of a long endurance type of running because we're running after the ball. Whereas against football club, we need to initiate, be the proactive bunch, and like initiate the movements, initiate the runs. So it requires a lot more bursting. It's a complete different type of stamina. So like every game's different, every training's different. And when Toby says like good times, even now when we don't have training on the pitch, we have training at the Happy Valley, anything with the track, so we can at least track our times in terms of fitness. relative to our teammates. If you see what I'm saying.
So you're accountable for each other in that sense.
Kind of.
Yeah. Well, they're just, yeah. They were like not push. Well, I think there's. I mean, at the moment, when we did it last year, we had a different technique where it was like, use this time to get even fitter, and then you can come back, and then you're like more injury prone, or I don't know, maybe not, maybe you are. But now the way they're seeing is like just keep a base fitness, so they're putting times out that aren't to be like world records. It's just like get that, and it's like at least you're sweating, getting out, moving, as opposed to like really pushing and going like pushing too much where you could get injured.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've noticed also like in training sessions, it's like when training with you guys, like how the coach is quite smart and like they're a little bit more developed in how they understand the player's body a little bit better these days. I think if you like rewind like 5 or so, like 10 years back, it was all like super hard work. But now it's, I think they have a basis of like you know, they have to find the sweet spot of how much you push a player. I don't know if like how you guys set up in that sense, but you have a little bit more of a better understanding of like where you're gonna like peak at the right time, instead of just train super hard throughout the week and then you have a game.
Yeah, I mean they do try and periodize it, especially because we have a smaller squad, so they have to look at it more. So if we started like training just hard every single day, then obviously you're more injury prone.
Mm-hmm.
But if we started to get injured, we only have like 20 players, or maybe even less. So if we lost 5 players, then you're like screwed. So then they have to look at it. How can you keep everyone as fit as possible for as long as possible? And then I guess in the Premier League or like bigger teams, they have like an individual who's actually employed purely just to do that kind of like stats for each player, like how tired they are and how much they can train and all that kind of stuff. So it's actually good that they're doing it this year.
Yeah, I guess like Sean's what Sean pointed out as well, I think Jack would be quite familiar with, is like the change of football science within because back then, even when we first started playing in the Premier League in Hong Kong, dude, we were running like dogs.
Yeah.
Like whichever team you played for, Sunhay, they run like dogs, man. Like when I was running at when I was at Rangers, I've never run so much in my life. To be fair, I was fit. I was really fit. Like I could run a marathon back then, but the injuries I've got from it, I got my ACL injury from Rangers. Exactly because we were just so overworked that I was doing like gym sessions every day. So it's hard work. But the sports science have come to a point where now there's more statistics that back up the players in terms of protecting us. Or what's your maximum workload, how much we should be working, and if you have high intensity, low time session. If you have low intensity, you could go for a longer time. Just such basic concepts like this protects us, all of us. And it's not just Hong Kong League teams. We're talking about even English Premier League teams. You would think, oh, yeah, dude, English Premier League teams, they have 30 players, 40 players. But if you watch the Premier League, you'll realize they play 15 players throughout the season. A big team like Manchester City or Chelsea, they might have 18 players. But the other teams, they play with the 10, 12 players throughout the season.
Yeah.
That's why it's so important for us to have some sort of routine and like find a way that works. If this routine, we stuck to it, Tuesday, Wednesday, high intensity, and then Thursday, Friday down to prepare for a game. And then if this method, you find a lot of players are getting injured, then you change it up, and then you change it up again. And that was something we never really had when we first started up playing football.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. Do you guys like when you guys prepare for matches on the weekend, do you set out like differently, or do you guys have a similar kind of ethos that you kind of stick to in terms of tactics? Or is it like, oh, this team is going to be different? For example, you play Kitchi Football Club. Do you set up differently, or you still have that same kind of like idea?
Toby.
I think you gotta have that balance, right? Like not every team's the same, and I think it's kind of more split into two.
What do you mean? When you split into two?
Well, whether we're gonna have maybe higher possession or lower possession.
Okay.
And then it's split into sort of two categories of, okay, this game we're going to play more like this, and this game we're going to play more maybe attacking. This game is going to be more defensive, this game is going to be more attacking. But then we kind of try and have our own style. So it's not changing all the time, but each week could be different depending on
the
Does that
opponent.
make sense?
Yeah.
So we change, but only really between a couple of systems.
It would be like more. So we keep the same way that we play, but say if we're playing someone who are expected to win, and we want to win, we'll be like more pressing from like higher up. But if we're expecting to like be a bit more defensive, then we won't start as high. We'll start a bit deeper.
Interesting. Okay.
Just so that, because they're expected to play better and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we basically play the same, but we'll just move up and down and be a little bit more like defensive minded or a little bit more attacking minded, depending on who we're playing. But the way that we play will be exactly the same.
Got it.
Like it won't be like right now we're gonna have 3 defenders.
Because it'll probably disrupt.
Yeah, so everyone's used to how we're playing, so we kind of just keep exactly the same.
I guess Toby hit a pretty good spot there. I think our team mainly arranges our game style according to if it's a strong opponent and us or weaker. But Jack, even Toby would know actually, because like I've had loads of coaches in my times, and one of the coaches like Joseph, you remember Kambao from Kitchi? He was a very unique coach. I find there's like different type of coaches. One coach, one category of coaches, they would really focus on us first. And Southern right now, we focus on ourselves more than the opponent at this point. How we play as a team. Whereas some coaches like Kambao, they would really focus and analyze what the other team would do, and this team would do according to what they would do.
Yeah.
And whereas now we're doing what we do best.
But still have that core
Element
of how we play.
Exactly. A core element of our opponent in general. Are they weaker or stronger?
Yeah.
And once you know, oh, they're weaker than us, then we play like this. Focus on ourselves. Whereas Kambao would be like, oh, we're playing against these guys, we need some speed on the wing, we need a goal scorer that could hold the ball. Like different game styles, different gameplay. But Kitchi had the luxury of money and people. Like this is the main point, you know, and we don't have that luxury, which is why right now Sesh, our coaching staffs would want us to be focused on ourselves because we only have that many players, and so that's how we set up against teams nowadays.
Yeah, I find it really cool. Like everyone, you know, they'll watch TV, they'll watch the pros play, and they're like, oh, like I can do this when I play football. I think what people don't understand the difference between like an amateur level and a professional football player, from my experience, is like pros, they're so calm and calculated when they'll like attack, or when they'll kind of like they'll basically there's like just like in boxing, you know, like a good boxer will break down the opponent and wait. Like you can be good in one round, like anyone can be good in one round and just do a flurry and win the round, but a good like advanced boxer will like start to dissect the opponent. Okay, now you're tired. I'll beat you in the second round. So I'm sure there are a lot of like talented footballers there, amateurs, what you want to call it. Like yeah, I can be pro, but I don't really understand like the experience is so important. I think all of you guys have it, and that separates like the difference. I believe at least.
It's true. I would say like experience is a big thing, but there's also very young players that have never played in the Premier League, played the first week and played a good game.
Okay.
Like Little James, I thought he was playing quite good. He was in our team, trying out and stuff, never played in the Premier League. Then he goes to a Premier League game and aces, like does well. I think there's a lot of intuition and talent that goes into it.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right, experience is a big thing on football, especially like on-pitch decisions. To make less mistakes is experience. But like Gavi from Barcelona, 17 years old. Mate,
they're freaks, man.
Come on. He's like 17 and he's like kicking. I thought he was like played for 10 years. And
then you get some players like that, like it was like same with Rooney and like James Milner.
Yeah.
They're like 16 years old, but they have like an
mental
adult brain when it comes to football.
Like yeah, you
so like,
and
then like,
you know what I mean?
but you have some guys who like the coach will tell them to do something. They're like, oh yeah, I understand that. But then you can have like an 18-year-old who doesn't understand football. Yeah. Then you tell them to do that, and they're like, what? Why?
So that's the difference.
So
that's the difference with pro, I would say.
So yeah, like if you have a football brain, then you can obviously grasp things much quicker and easier. Then you are like experienced, younger. Well, like because you just understand what's being said.
Got it.
But if you're just like, if you have no brain, you can only go so far.
Yeah. I think here's like a really good way of seeing that difference, because Hong Kong professional football's not so far off some of the amateur players, right? Like there isn't that giant leap in difference.
Yeah, I guess
Like, the main difference here, as you've seen, like football clubs, at moments in times in the game can compete. They're actually shown that they're quite a good team, good players, and things like that. But they don't train enough, and we're training every day, and it's that repetition, things like that. But then that's the next step to the Premier League.
Yeah.
Is such a giant leap, you know.
I know what you mean.
And also with the going back to the boxing, like you could have, you know, it's very rare that you have someone like Tyson Fury who was out for 3 years, comes back and then is world champion.
Yeah.
You know, if someone who is even really one of the best stops training for 6 months, and the person that he could be fighting at the end of the year can just continues training, even if it's not that intense, they're still ready. You know.
Yeah.
So.
Agree.
And I do agree, like, football club can like compete and this is a giant leap. But to be fair, like right now, the entire league standard is much lower than what it was before, right? Like football clubs competing with a few other teams that also is, you know, like RCFC, like under 23s and Rangers. They're pretty much a little bit like semi-pro. Are they? They're fully pro, right?
They are fully pro.
They're fully pro, but with a lot of like inexperienced players.
Yeah.
And like
If club train every day.
If the club trained every day, they would be
and had like the same resources.
Yeah.
They've got some better resources. But like coaching, having a goal.
So the leap is not that big now.
No, it's not that
but
big.
5 years ago, the leap would be insane.
Why was that? Just international players, or was it?
No, the whole league, all the teams were more even. People were just much better.
Yeah.
Even China leagues dropped so much. Chi was just telling us, one of our teammates that's from China, was just telling us how his China friends that watch the Super League and watch the Hong Kong League is like, wow, sometimes a Hong Kong League game, the rhythm and intensity is higher than a China Super League game.
Really?
It's changed a lot. And he's played in China, so Jack would know.
Yeah.
So what's the? So I gotta ask, guys. I mean, you guys have all played at a high level. What's the toughest player you've ever played against? Opponent, individual opponent. Would you say?
You guys have loads.
I mean, you could.
Who would it be? Well, Di Maria was pretty hard to.
Di Maria, there you go.
Oscar was pretty. Oscar was.
Oh, so we're counting the
Oscar was actually.
Yeah,
teams
you've got loads.
Oh, dude. We're counting those, or we're counting
but like
regular
You
opponents?
can say
Oscar was a
It
league
looks like it
game.
was a China game, right?
Yeah, no, a league game.
Wait,
So
what did
Oscar
you
was-
see was
Oscar was pretty mental.
okay?
Yeah, I would say like John Terry or Lampard.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But could you
truthfully,
see how good they were? Like when
it was just like so much stronger, so much
Okay.
quicker. It's just in general, you know, on FIFA you have these ratings. It's like every single rating they're like above you. And you're like, you feel a bit like a child.
Yeah.
It felt quite good actually. I haven't felt like that much of a child in a while. And you play against John Terry, you're like, oh yeah, hi dad. You know, play as a kid.
Grealish was 16 when I played against him.
Yeah,
Sen-
Grealish.
17.
Yeah, the
At
football.
7,
playing,
and he
Yeah.
rinsed us. And it was like, I was only 17, 18 at the time.
Actually,
But I was like, this guy.
talking about this now,
guy's mustard.
I think no, the best opponent I've seen or best player I've seen would be like who plays for Southampton now is Nathan Redmond, really good player.
is he wing back? No.
No, he's like a winger.
Winger.
Yeah, so when I was at Birmingham, we were training in the same team. He played for the first team, but he trained with the under 18s at the same time, and he was just, you could tell he's different level. He was 17, but he was already capable of being a first 11 in the first team, which was rare. And now he plays for Southampton, playing sick, top assist in the team. Could be scoring more goals, but you know, he's definitely one of the best players I've seen. Or Jesus Navas, such a good player. When I was in Seville watching him train,
Oh
it
no.
was
So
like,
where is he now?
I think he's back in La Liga now.
Okay.
I think he's back in Seville. I'm not surprised.
Who's the toughest you've played against?
Apart from Jack.
Apart from Jack, and you guys like tough.
And Johnny doesn't count.
Gianni, are you sure? Please count Gianni.
I think when I went to Brazil, it was there was a guy called Caramelo. He was a right back, and I went to Mojimirim, and I remember seeing like every single we do like a training drill, and every single cross was like 95, 90%. Like, you know, when you like, you're just doing phases of play. It wasn't even a game. And just the technique, I'm like, dude, it's like shooting like a basketball hoop every time he's getting it in. I think I think he passed away because he was in that plane crash.
Oh shit.
That Brazilian team, he eventually started to play with them, and I think he was right back for them, but he was so fucking good. I was like, dude, like this is another level. You think like, oh, you reach a level and then you like see the outside world. You're like, oh shit, these guys are so good.
No, I'm thinking like I can't stop thinking about Gianni. Gianni's so competitive. You know, he's so competitive. There was a point where Gianni trained with Southern. Back when like.
Was it Sunhead or with you?
No, it was at Southern, but it wasn't this Southern now. You know, the owners and everything. It was the old Massage Palace Southern.
Right.
You know the one.
Yeah.
It was a good time back then.
It was
was a great
it was a
place
good
to be.
time. Mate, it was the best times, bro. But yeah, no, Gianni's such a competitive left back, left footer. Same as you actually. You're not as competitive.
No,
but yeah, it was good times when Gianni was on.
yeah, we started at Victoria Park when I was playing with you.
Yeah, I was playing football. That's how I met Sean.
Mate, do you remember when you went to England, didn't you, with Ed?
Yeah, were you there?
Yeah.
I remember playing with you in primary school.
Yeah, German Swiss.
That was a long time
I
ago.
was P3?
Was it P3? Primary 3?
Yeah, I moved to Clearwater Bay when I was P4.
Yeah, Toby would just score all the goals.
And I was playing up as well. I was playing up.
Up front?
Yeah. No, I was playing up.
Okay, you were like a year above us.
When I was in P4, I went to the like P6 tournament.
Yeah, I remember, yeah. So yeah, you were like younger but playing above.
But you remember when we went to England, you know, did you keep up with Dan Bentley?
He's the goalkeeper,
Yeah,
right?
Bristol.
Oh yeah.
Championship.
Okay,
He did
yeah.
really well. But you remember, like, you could just tell. You could just tell that he was.
Yeah, there's just
like,
some players.
Different level.
They're
Oh,
just,
really? You have a friend that plays for Bristol now?
yeah, he's a goalkeeper, right?
Yeah. Well, he wasn't a goalkeeper. He was an outfielder.
Okay.
And do you remember it was him and Rory? Was it
Rory?
I don't remember his last name.
They're all names.
It was
but
so
yeah.
long ago. But I just remember those two being sick together, but they played outfield. And then we went to England for that tournament. And do you remember there was a different Rory, ginger hair, goalkeeper.
Okay.
And he broke his leg in the tournament, and then Daniel went in goal. And he was just like, we were under 12s.
I think so, yeah.
Under 12s,
yeah.
and full size goals, and he was just bang, bang, top corner. We played against they were like the South England under 12 champions or something like that. I don't remember, this is so long ago. And yeah, with 11, and he's just plucking saves out of the top corners and things like that. We drew 1-1 with these guys. Unreal. And then he obviously went.
Yeah, probably back then you guys were like, oh yeah, once he went in goal, we all knew.
Well, we didn't
Maybe
know.
on the site there was someone else that looked at you and be like, oh, Toby, he's gonna be the top shit. Look at you now.
But he's definitely got that wrong. So.
Nah, you're top shit. Professional footballer.
No, but I think the people. I mean, I want to actually talk about the fans. I think you have a lot of fans and casual fans, and they just like. I remember watching one of your games, and then you have fans abusing the referees, sometimes the players and stuff. It frustrates me because, from an athlete's perspective, they don't understand or the game as much, and fans just see oh, you missed a pass, but they don't understand why you missed a pass. I think sometimes professionals are underappreciated. I feel they're like, oh, the team's doing blah blah blah, but football is such a confidence game, and if you're doing good, you're doing it. If you're doing poor, then it's tough to get that thing in, that momentum. But how much are fans to you important, or do you still play? Are you still okay with okay, I can play without fans and it's fine as a team?
I mean, Jack has the most fans, so he'll know.
Don't have any. Got no fans.
No fans.
I think it's different here.
Yeah.
Because, in leagues and in the Premier League, for example, you actually have fans from that city, and they literally be grown up with it with all of their family. So for them, that's religion, yeah. But here, there's no one religiously into the team.
Got it.
South China had a big following, right?
Yeah.
But that was because they had a little bit of history. Kitchi has
Yeah,
because they have history.
Yeah.
But all the other teams, maybe Yuen Long, who's now in first division. Apart from the district sides,
So they did try to make more district teams with the district stadiums to create a fan base, but there was never enough loyal supporters going to each game. And I think it used to be big, like years ago, because there was no live TV.
Oh yeah.
And now you can watch every single like game that you want to watch on the TV in aircon. So I think they're literally just like, well, I'll go watch a better standard on the TV,
exactly,
as opposed to going to sit in. But I think some people are getting into it more. I think we've had discussions before where we feel like they could promote a lot more and try and get different avenues of people, like schools more, like the Western people coming. And just you could definitely get more people, but I think there's no like foresight into like getting more people, and it's
just like they advertise the rugby sales.
Stuff like that. So I mean, for us, I mean, it's obviously way better when the fans are there. But if we were to play in an empty stadium, like we play in Susewan, there's like 300 people, but the stadium's like 20,000 people, so it's basically empty anyway.
No, you can find more people on one section of the MTR than the people who come watch our games. I was just taking the MTR today. I was at an Admiralty. I was shocked, mate.
How busy it was.
Holy wow! To an Admiralty, there's like more people than watches my games. I was like, oh shit. So, just ask these guys to come.
But yeah, I mean, it is good when there's fans and like you're playing in a big game. But like in Hong Kong, if there isn't any, like everyone was like moaning. I remember last year when they were like, oh, we're gonna play all the games in Chung Kwan O, and everyone's like, oh, we can't do that. It's like training. I was like, well, it's not different, right? Is it?
To be fair though, I think you hit quite a good point, which is like history.
Yeah.
And without history, it's very, very hard to build religion.
Yeah.
And there's two aspects of it, and you hit both of them. One of them is the history of clubs. The second one is technology.
Yeah.
Because back then, younger people in Hong Kong, because I've always been curious. So I was asking some of the new colleagues I do commentating with, like, how was football back then? Why was there so many more people that is interested in watching football? And the main thing comes from radio. So when he was young, he never used to watch football. He used to listen to football over radio. And that's why a commentating job is so important. Yeah. Whereas and back then, the teams all had history. It was a team called Zingong. There was a Dongfang has a lot of history. Lanhua, South China, has history. There's Fai Tong, which is new Kitchi, had history. So there's a lot of teams that have history, but now no longer exist. And that, like you said, they're trying to do districts, building a fan base. We're living like the youngest age, like first 5 years. That's without knowing if they're going to exist in 20 years. Whereas Sheffield Wednesday, they would exist for hundreds of years.
County's what, 130 years old?
You know what I mean? These guys are talking about 100 years building a religion. You can't build a religion in 5 days unless you're like Kanye West. Trying to build that religion in like a year or something. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be absolutely nuts. This stuff takes time, and like, sadly, with the competition of, oh, we can't hear radio and people are watching TV as like an entertainment nowadays, that's such a big competition to local football. But one thing that you mentioned, that I feel like there's two ways of seeing this, especially the fans on the pitch.
What was that? Keep it.
About to speaking not loud.
We're just the real. Yeah.
That's real. Okay. So basically, with what you mentioned earlier about the fans shouting and abusing and affecting athletes' psychology, such a big thing, and like many people talk about it. But there's two ways of seeing it. One way is, what are they saying? There's just shouting nonsense where they don't know football. To our eyes, some of the things they're shouting is really they don't understand. But like, if you see it in another light, that's the only way you could have local people come watch games, because they're so stressed.
True.
You need them to dump their garbage out. I'm telling you, they need to like let it all out. Dump their rubbish out, no problem. The biggest thing is, like, I don't mind them shouting, because after if you shout at us and you go home a happier person, dude. Yeah, let's go. We win together. We all win. Yeah, no problem. Call me a fucking, are you blind and shit, you know? My favorite one is like, beep boo beep. That was my favorite one, mate. Every time they shout that, I fucking crack up laughing. Like on the pitch. I'm no alcoholic.
That's good. But yeah, I mean, going on to James and Toby's point, that's the thing with, like, I find it, as you said, you just want to release some stress as fans because they work 9 to 5 jobs, and it's maybe their kind of catharsis of like letting go a little bit and shouting. Maybe they can't do that in their homes. But I just find it so funny. I was watching like a Chelsea Liverpool game. I remember a few years back, I was sitting in the Chelsea end, and obviously I'm a Liverpool supporter, so I want Liverpool to win. And like this guy like said some such abusive words to Mane, and like I'm just thinking like, if he was in front of you, you wouldn't say shit to him.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
An English fan?
Yeah, it's a British guy.
Ooh.
And I was just sitting there. I'm just like, okay, like I think they've got this like it's almost like a keyboard warrior where you've got this defense.
The original keyboard warrior.
Yeah.
150 years ago. Like, you're shit.
You're shite, mate. Yeah.
Eating 2 birds.
But yeah, no.
But I get it. I get your point. It is some sort of like release. So
Dude, you have no idea. Like, I've been fortunate in love. Fortunate in love. No, I've been fortunate enough to like live the very local life and quite a like international life in Hong Kong. And trust me, Hong Kong people are so much more stressed. Like so much more stressed than Western people. Expats in Hong Kong are like, compared to the locals, are so relaxed. You have no idea. When a local person hangs out with a international school kid one day, they're like, oh wow, dude, they're so much more chill. Literally, they would like think that, and like that enormous pressure, how suppressed they feel is insane. So like coming to a football field, shouting a little bit is so crucial, and I feel like that's quite a unique selling point for football. If you want to sell that unique selling point to fans to come and watch your games, shout at us, because mate, come and shout at us. Oh please, come and shout at us now. But
it's not just the fans as well. Like people are different when they play football.
yeah,
Like, some of the nicest people I've ever met are horrible bastards on the pitch.
yeah,
Like,
you're one of
playing
them,
against
motherfucker.
Oh, I'm a nice guy.
Oh
mate.
wow,
I'm a
you're
nice
so
guy.
rude. You're like bossy as fuck.
I'm a nice guy. No, but yeah, like some mates that I've loved playing with over the years, and then you play against them once or twice, and you're like, God, this guy's a twat. Like,
Yeah. You have a lot of good friends like that on the field.
yeah, no, for
Yeah,
real. But like,
right.
that's because when you're in that moment doing something that you really like doing, that you're passionate about, you know, the emotions get higher. Same with the fans. They're not playing football on the weekend, so them coming and releasing it is
energy. Yeah.
them being invested in the game and being passionate about it, and so just the random stuff comes out. Right?
Oh yeah, that actually initiates a fall. So the argument would be like, why would they come to the pitch and shout, whereas they could go play football and release it that way anyways?
But then we'd have even less
If
people
that's
then.
the objective, why not play themselves?
But they want to also. It's like watching a movie for them. They want to eat. They want to enjoy.
And what if they come to our game supporting us and we lose the game and he has a worse take goes home?
Saying that though,
Mate,
if
we're
I was a
messing it
fan,
up.
like going to United or whatever, I'd be losing my mind.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, right now, yeah.
Anyone,
Well,
like, if
Everton
you're going
even
through a
worse
bad
right
match.
now. Everton's like doing really bad. They just fired Benitez.
They got rid of him?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
Today,
sacked already?
Yeah,
sacked Benitez. It's crazy.
Yeah, they never liked him, the fans anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I bumped into him.
Come on,
I bumped into him in IFC.
Yeah, I know, he was here during the summer. It was
Yeah.
Dalian, right? He was
Yeah,
coaching.
I was. Oh yeah, Everton's gonna do well this season. He lost his job now.
He gave Liverpool one of their best nights ever, right? He's not going to
Yeah,
go
man.
over and he's not going to go over and be loved by Everton. Doesn't matter what he
Exactly.
did. Even if he'd actually done quite well,
They would have.
they wouldn't have liked him as much as
Yeah.
someone who didn't.
Wow, they really hold on to that, huh?
It's religion.
Yeah,
It's religion.
there you go. Fair enough. So I want to ask, like, what like pumps you up for games? Like, what do you do before a game? Do you guys listen to a certain type of music, or do you have like your own? You go on your own like.
He watches cartoons.
Dude, I was hoping you were gonna say it, but I fucking love watching cartoons before games. It's just so.
That's cool.
Because I already thought about football long enough. I want to clear my mind out, watch something like easy, and then go into the game with fucking blank mind. You know.
Yeah, I don't do. I just listen to music.
Music.
Yeah.
Fair. You too.
Don't do anything special.
Music.
I don't watch
Brings
cartoon.
people.
Okay, I watch anime. It's actually a lot more mature.
Yeah, I was thinking Cartoon Network when you said cartoon.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now I'm just
Like,
like
that's
anime.
Anime, adult anime, not like
Powerpuff
porn
Girls,
anime, but like
yeah.
anime. You know, like what adults watch.
Yeah.
Like really like.
There's
What they
some
call Attack on Titans type of
To
thing.
be fair, if we had better music, though, I think everyone would not have their headphones in.
Oh, yeah.
But because
Yeah, but the worst thing is the
Steph's
music.
playing his samba
Brazilian
music.
Okay.
Which is nice music when you're on the beach. But when you're trying to get pumped up for a game, it's like
Yeah,
love
it's
songs.
nice music on the beach because you could run away from it. You just fucking leg it, man.
And he doesn't pay for Spotify.
Yes, yeah.
Premium.
He doesn't
So the
give us
adverts
So
Spotify.
the adverts come on halfway through
really?
every song, yeah.
That's
So everyone else is just sat there and he's in the corner like,
Mate, I had to go buy those in-ear so you could block out the
Yeah.
noise type
Oh,
of
yeah.
earphones just to block that music out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I had to.
so frustrating.
But the worst thing is because his tradition is working out. Every time he
Yeah.
plays Brazilian music,
He's
we
scoring.
win. We
okay.
So
First
we
of
can't
the
stop.
day.
Every
Can't
game
stop
I'm like, if you don't score, I'm taking the speaker away from you. He goes, no problem, man, no problem.
yeah. So we'll wait until like we don't win 3 games in a row. We're fucking taking that speaker, throwing it out.
Ah,
Oh,
it's my
yours?
speaker.
No, we're taking this
Yeah,
the
taking it off
playlist
him.
and like
Yeah.
grabbing it. You know, like, our music now.
Yeah.
That's sweet. And do you guys will have like, so when you guys meet, do you guys like meet 2 hours before the game or so, or do you guys like?
You mean our pre-game routine?
Yeah.
Oh, it depends where we're playing. Sometimes they take the team bus.
Okay.
I always go to the pitch myself.
Okay.
I drive to chat sometimes when I come back. If we're playing like Tingy or some shit, we'll drive back. But
Was it 2 hours? An hour and 45, 2 hours before.
Okay.
Chill
Just
out for a
okay.
bit, get ready, take our time, listen to music.
yeah, actually, you guys have been in the Hong Kong football for so long. Have you guys ever came across like weird rituals, like really fucked up weird ones?
People cutting their toenails.
What's that about?
Why?
Don't know, but it's always seems to be a thing where it was like every time before a game, they would just cut their toenails, but it wouldn't go like they wouldn't go and do it in the shower so you can wash it away. It'd just be like in the middle of the floor. And I was like, what the hell?
Oh shit! I didn't know you guys minded.
Sprinkle
about
it on
that.
the-
I cut my nails
Yeah,
last game.
you-
No, I don't usually. It's just last game my nails were long, so I cut it. But I throw my nail in the bin.
Yeah, that's fine. There's some people that just like leave them and then they're like, oh cool. Might-
Just lay a piece of tissue on the floor and just
Yeah.
clip away.
Okay.
No, there's loads of traditions. There's ones I saw. Have you heard of the ones that drink piss before you?
What?
There's people that drink piss before.
You're making that up, mate.
I'm not making that
There's
shit.
no one who's ever gone. There's no one who's ever
Mate,
gone.
search
"Oh,
online."
I'm gonna try
Yeah, but
this
in
to
Hong-
give me
you
good
said
luck
you've
before the
seen
game.
this.
Yes, I'm not gonna say who though. I can't say who.
In Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Well, if you said search online,
There's
we'll
one.
find it.
Dude, you know there's a lot of things in Hong Kong. There's
Yeah, but
Search online. I didn't believe that guy. Apparently, he told me like if you drink piss before the game, like there's some sort of like energy booster type of thing.
absolutely,
Search online.
absolutely not.
And then I searched online. Turns out a lot of players have this ritual.
No.
Drinking his piss from the night before.
That's what you don't need. So why would you put it back in?
Just in case. I think it's just
Lose
in
weight
case.
before the.
Lose weight. No, look, Jack is searching it up, and he's gonna slap you in the face
Pull,
with
pull,
this
pull that up.
with this phone. But I know other rituals while he's pulling that up is one of the recent players in Southern. He would not wash his socks if he scored that game before. He would take the socks, not let Fatco wash the socks, bring it home, and bring it back out for the next game.
So if
To
you
play in the dirty socks he played in. For yeah.
whatever works, I guess.
Didn't score very often, did he?
No.
Clean socks.
Hopefully not.
Clean socks.
Yeah. And then, no, there's so many rituals. Like, the God ones are very frequent, especially foreigners.
I can't find anything.
You couldn't find
Yeah,
anything?
because it's bullshit. That's why. No one's drinking piss.
Yeah.
Maybe the guy was fucking with me. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he's.
He's
He's
like,
been mugged
you
off
want
for
some?
10,
You want
10
some?
years. He's been drinking piss before a game.
No,
I bet it was that.
no,
Red,
no,
it, was
no,
that
no.
Red, it was that Red Bull one. Probably.
No.
The fizzy
I'll
one.
tell you who. You know this guy. Remember Bali from Sunhay?
Yeah, it was Red Bull.
It's not Red Bull!
Yes.
No!
Fuck off.
He used to get. I know. I was about to say him because he used to drink
Yeah,
Red
no, he's the
Bull.
one that told me.
You've been mugged off for years.
No, but
It was
wait,
one
wait,
of-
wait.
It was the one in the gold can.
Yeah. The syrupy one.
Yeah.
He drank it in the bottle.
No, but so
He
you
would
could
fill
get
it
the
up.
Red Bull, which is like syrup, and then he would put it in with water, and then he'd have it there.
Okay, no.
For 10 years, he
No,
believed
but
it.
wait. I thought it was like, Red Bull and shit. But then, like, one time we were, like, in Indonesia for AFC,
Yeah.
Asian Cup. And then we walked by this dirty-ass shop in Indonesia. And, like, there was, like, cockroaches around the fridge. And, let's just not eat in this restaurant. And Bala said, no, cockroach is friendly. We could eat it, no problem. I was like, okay, eat the cockroach. She was like, okay, pay me $500. I would eat it. Gave him $500. Took the cockroach, fucking moving alive, and I killed it. ate it.
Yeah, but like people do eat cockroach.
If he could eat cockroach, he could drink piss. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm
think
sure,
he drinks piss. If he could eat cockroach, just like no problem. The
I think it was
cockroach
Red-
might have been fucking pregnant. It might have been loads of baby
I
cockroaches.
think it was Red Bull.
I don't know. I think. Okay. I believe 70% is Red Bull. I'm leaving 30% for me to just
Yeah.
fantasize about
Yeah.
him drinking piss before a fucking game.
Do you guys have it? Drinking piss before games, one of the rituals.
Yeah. No, it's a very good ritual. Remember to learn from this guy.
Gives you wings.
Yeah. He is a nutcase, like that.
Yeah, he was
It's
crazy.
pretty crazy. Funny, but very crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's we've kind of covered everything, but just to wrap it up, if you guys weren't footballers, what would you guys be doing?
Ooh, I'll be a filmmaker. You'll be a fucking.
I was football coaching before.
Okay, so
Probably that.
Nah, you'd be a franchise freaking hair salon owner.
That's now.
Oh, sorry, that's not. Yeah, you're right.
Utopia?
Don't know.
Don't know.
Selling something.
Something.
You are a good salesman though. If he had to sell something, sell me this pen. Where's the pen? There's no pen.
Yeah.
There's no pen. Oh wow. Oh, it's worthless now. There's too much
Exactly,
supply.
too much, yeah.
There's no demand. No, it's fine. Sell me this pen. Let's go.
Can I have that pen as well?
Oh wow. What? You're taking all the pens of the house? Huh?
Petra, give him more.
You need more pens?
No,
Dude,
no. Can you?
Petra has like
can you-
25
Can you
pens.
write down your phone number?
Okay. Can I have a pen?
Yeah, it's $5.
You win, okay? You win. Are we just doing the Wolf of Wall Street? Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Stolen it, mate.
What other
stolen
movie do you want to do?
it. Taken.
Taken? Dude, Taken? Dude,
I've got a very
has
Taken
anyone
skin.
seen the girl from Taken when she runs? Dude, like,
Which
just,
one though? Which? Oh yeah, the first one.
there's this girl, go on YouTube and type like Taken girl running. Wow, I just never seen something so funny. It's just a girl just runs like, oh my god, someone's chasing me. It's just
I
her
think
running
it's
style.
the second one.
Is it? It's just so funny. Search it. It's one of the funniest videos I've ever seen.
Why are you running?
No, it's just her running is so fucking ridiculous. It's like, what the fuck? It's like Attack of Titan style running.
I'll have to Google it after.
Yeah, Google it. No, trust me, it's worth it. You want to watch it.
Cool guys. I think that's it. Thanks for tuning in, guys. That's a wrap. Be sure to look out for the next episode. If you like the episode, be sure to like and subscribe. And also, do look out for Southern's next game when they do return to football, because Jack, James, and Toby will be playing and hopefully winning and scoring.
Hopefully.
Let's
There you
go. Yeah.
Done.
Nice.
Do you have a
outro.
message, Jack, for your fans?
Is this like the long?
Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. James,
Yeah.
for your fans,
Thank you for watching.
and Toby, for
Toby,
your
sell the
fans.
pen.
If I could have some, that'd be great.